Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. So in today's lesson, we are going to learn about some very helpful words we use for comparison of equality. Before we get started, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And let me know in the comment section below what grammar lessons you would like me to make for you guys. Alright, so now let's just start with the lesson. In the previous lesson, we learned about the comparative and superlative adjectives. You can find the link to this lesson in the description box. In this lesson, we are going to learn the comparison of equality. And this lesson, in combination with the previous lesson, are very helpful, especially for those of you who are taking some kind of Persian test like OPI or any other Persian test. It's very important to really learn these two lessons very well. Here in this slide, you will see different ways that we use in Persian to express that both things are or are not equal or similar. We are going to start with the first one. We are going to start with the first comparison, and I'm going to use this example to explain the point. So we want to say this apple is as good as that apple. So as you can see here, we have as, the adjective, and another as in English. So the adjective good in Farsi is khub. So on the Farsi side, we need the preposition be before the adjective, and then we need to attach the letter ye, which here the sound is e, to the adjective, and then we need to connect the adjective to the second term, which is that apple, with ezafe. It's like a little bit more literal, only for the purpose of the order of the words. We need to say something like this apple as good as that apple is. So it's pretty much, the order is pretty much similar to English. All right, so this sentence is این سیب به خوبی آن سیب است. Again, remember, don't forget to connect the adjective to the second term with ezafe. We are going to look at more examples. Another example, we want to say in summer, Tehran is as hot as Dubai. So here the adjective is hot, and hot in Farsi is garm. So in order to say as hot as, we need to say be garmiye. All right, here are the vocab. Summer is tabestan. Informal, we say tabestun. And Tehran is just Tehran. And Dubai is Dubai. All right, so this sentence, a little bit more literal. We need to say something like, in summer, Tehran as hot as Dubai is. This is the verb comes at the end. در تابستان تهران به گرمی دبی است. And in the spoken informal language, dar is to, تابستان is تابستون, and دبی است is دبی. So this sentence in the spoken informal language and a little bit more faster is تو تابستون تهران به گرمی دبی. Next example, now we want to say this pizza is as delicious as that pizza. So here the adjective is delicious, and delicious in Persian is خوشمزه. But as you can see here, خوشمزه ends in a silent he. So before we attach the letter ye or letter e to the adjective, we need to replace the silent he with the letter ge here to ease the pronunciation. So it's going to read as be خوشمزگیه. All right, so we are going to start with این پیتزا به خوشمزگی آن پیتزا است. And then on becomes un for the informal, and pizza است becomes pizzast. It's like we drop the letter aleph here, pizzast. So this sentence in informal is این پیتزا به خوشمزگی اون پیتزاست. Now let's go over the second term, which is be اندازه. This one also get اضافه, so it would be به اندازه, and then whatever comes after. اندازه, it means size. So a little bit more literal, it means like to the size of, which in English, it means as much or as many. It also means as and then as. So by using به اندازه, it's another way to say two things are similar. And then also it could mean as much as. For example, she earns as much as he does. But examples that uses as much as, usually we need to use verbs too, and we have not gone over the verbs yet. So we're just going to see examples for this one and this one. All right, let's start with this first example. We want to say my dog has as much fur as my cat, and fur is just مو. مو is hair. سگم به اندازه گربه ام مو دارد. But now we want to say my dog is as playful as my cat. So we learned this earlier, but now we want to use به اندازه. سگم به اندازه گربه ام بازیگوش است. And بازیگوش means playful. Next example, we want to say Sahar has as many books as Shirin. So here, as many can be translated as به اندازه. سحر به اندازه شیرین کتاب دارد. And here, one thing you need to take note is that the noun here stays singular, because به اندازه, which means as many here, it's already indicating that the noun is plural. So we do not need to make the noun plural anymore. We keep it singular. And then also the informal of دارد is داره. So this sentence, a little bit more informal, is سحر به اندازه شیرین کتاب داره. But now we want to say Sahar is as smart as Shirin. And we have learned the first way earlier by using به and then attaching the letter ye or e to the adjective. Sahar به باهوشی شیرین است. But now we want to use به اندازه, which is another way to say this sentence. سحر به اندازه شیرین باهوش است. The informal and contraction of باهوش است is باهوشه. I'm going to read these sentences one more time, but in informal and a little bit faster. سحر به باهوشی شیرینه. سحر به اندازه شیرین باهوشه. Next, we want to say we have as much work as they do. So work is کار and then as much is به اندازه. ما به اندازه آنها کار داریم. But now we want to say we are as tired as they are, and we want to use به اندازه. And tired is خسته. So this is the first version that we have learned. ما به خستگی آنها هستیم. And remember, we need to add the letter ge before the letter ye or e, because خسته ends in a silent he. But now we want to use به اندازه. ما به اندازه آنها خسته هستیم. Now we will be looking at comparison using like or same as, which in Farsi is مثل, again we need اضافه, or a little bit more formal, ماننده. You would see this one mostly in formal writings, but in informal spoken language we use مثل. Alright, so here we want to say my dog is like your dog, or my dog is the same as your dog, something like this. So سگ من مثل سگ تو است. Or here we can also use the possessive adjectives and say سگم مثل سگت است. So here we have the first term, and then we need مثل in between, and then the second term. Let's see another example. So we want to say Shirin's car is the same as Sahar's car, or something like Shirin's car is like Sahar's car. So again, we use مثل, or a little bit more formal, ماننده. So literally we need to say something like Shirin's car like or same as Sahar's car is. ماشین شیرین مثل ماشین سحر است. Or we can also use مانند here, the second one, ماننده. And then the informal of سحر است is سحره. So ماشین شیرین مثل ماشین سحره. Next, we want to say that girl is like an angel. So girl is دختر and angel is فرشته. So we can use either one here. So literally it's like we need to say something like that girl like angel is. So we are going to start with that girl. آن دختر مثل فرشته است. Or we can also use مانند and say آن دختر مانند فرشته است. The informal of آن is اون and فرشته است is فرشته است. Because it's like we drop the silent he and you put a short vowel a on the letter t, and this one also we drop it and we combine it and it becomes فرشته است. So اون دختر مثل فرشته است. Next we will be looking at unlike, which we use unlike to say two things are not similar, which in Farsi is برعکس. We need اضافه here too. We have an example here. We're going to say unlike my sister, I'm tall, and tall is قد بلند. So literally we need to say something like unlike my sister, I tall am. برعکس خواهرم من قد بلند هستم. Next, we want to say, unlike my husband, I'm very quiet. So here are the vocab. Husband is شوهر, very is خیلی, and quiet is ساکت. So it's like literally we need to say something like, unlike my husband, I very quiet am. برعکس شوهرم من خیلی ساکت هستم. And then the informal of ساکت هستم is ساکتم. So this sentence in informal and a little bit faster is برعکس شوهرم من خیلی ساکتم. Next we will be looking at comparisons using similar to, which in Farsi is شبیه. شبیه. We have an example. We want to say Persian food is similar to Turkish food. Literally, we need to say something like Persian food similar to Turkish food is غذای ایرانی شبیه غذای ترکی است. We can also make the noun plural and say غذاهای ایرانی. It doesn't really matter whether we use singular or we use plural. And then the contraction of ترکی است is ترکیه. So this sentence in informal is غذای ایرانی شبیه غذای ترکیه. Next, we want to say Persian is not similar to English. So before we translate the sentence, something that is helpful for you guys to know is that it's very common in Persian every time we're talking about a language to actually use the word language. For example, instead of saying Persian is not similar to English, it's very common to say the Persian language is not similar to the English language. So let's go with that. and it's like literally we need to say the Persian language similar to English language is not. زبان فارسی شبیه زبان انگلیسی نیست. And then as you remember, when the verb is a negative, there is no contraction. Here's a summary of what we learned in this lesson. There was just not enough space for me to add some of the nuances that we learned too. So if you are taking note of this, make sure you add the nuances as well. And also, if you have any questions, just write it in the comment section and I will be more than happy to answer all your questions. We reached the end of this lesson. I hope you guys found this lesson helpful. If so, please don't forget to like, to subscribe to my channel, and to share this video. Also, if you like me to make any video on any specific topic, let me know in the comment section and I will definitely do that for you guys. See you in another lesson. Khuda Hafiz.